So it looks like we're good. Let's now that we've got the general structure, we're correctly reading our way into the innings, let's go into these innings and start pulling out the actual pitch data. And like I said before, I'm going to leave this cell here because if you were to walk it a different way or get different information out, you'd have that as the raw structure, the raw prototype for reading inning by inning. So with that, let's go into a new cell and let's do this. Let's say we know that we've got a top and bottom. So let's say frames, an array, Python array equals top and bottom. So we got a 2-element array. And what that's going to let us do is we'll be able to read this in a loop instead of getting one and having the exact same code. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over into another window here and I'm going to copy so you don't have to suffer through me typing this. I'm going to copy another dictionary that I've built, and what I've done is I've gone in and with all these pitches, if we open up an at-bat here and you'll see pitch, 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 there's our pitch element, you'll see the pitch type equals FC. Okay, so once again they abbreviated, and while this is not in a table or a folder somewhere, it's documented on multiple sites that FC is, in this case, where is it? It is a fastball cutter. Okay, so again, I know in advance we're going to want to expand that out as we print it. We're going to want to expand it into a more verbose English. So let's say also total pitch count. I set up some variables here that we know we're going to need. We'll need a pitch count. And now remember, all of the elements that we set up above us are still active. So this cell ran as the 29th sequence, and the tree and the root are still available to us. So as long as those variables are populated, they're available to us. So with that, let's say that we want innings to be equal to root, and we're going to find all, and the element name is inning. So we're going to find all the innings within the root. So again, bouncing back and forth here. We're going to find inning, inning, inning within the root element, which was the game element. And now we're going to just loop. So for inning singular, in innings plural, and for I in range. And what we're going to do here is say for the length of frames. So we know that frames is just an array of the words top and bottom. So for the length, which is 2, for I in 2, we're going to grab each one of those. We're going to grab the tops and the bottoms. So you can see that I is going to be our index. For I in range, the length of the frames is really for I in 1 and 2. So that'll be our index into frames, which should just give us the word top and bottom. So for I in range, let's do this. Let's say color equals green. If I equals 0, else, so otherwise, yellow. Okay, and what that's going to do, let me put a footnote here. We're going to show the top of the inning in green and yellow for the bottom. Okay, so the color is set. So now we can just use the word or the variable color, as we do our printouts. So let's do this. Let's say print in color, and here we'll put a carriage return, and then we'll put the word inning, and we'll concatenate onto that the inning.attribute.get num, because if you remember, num was where they numbered 1 through 9. So num plus, and let's use another. Let's wrap this in parentheses. Now it put a double in automatically, but I'll take one of them out. And then so we're going to plus the frames, which is our array up there, sub I. Should be 1 to start. And then we'll concatenate on the back end of our parentheses. And then here, remember we're using the colored function. It wants the color that we're using. Now here we're going to do something else. And there's if you look at the term color library that we imported, you can add color, but you can also add attributes. So we're going to add the attribute of reverse. So you give it an array of attributes that you want, and in this case, since I've used this library before, I know that one of the attributes that we can use is reverse. Now let's go to the very end. Let's see that that matches. It matches up to this parentheses, so we're probably good. Let's go ahead and run that. And we get string is not callable. And basically what that means is in our print statement here, notice it's parked on the print, that we're printing a string plus a string, that should be a string, another string, frame sub I is a string, and let's make sure that these guys are a block, which is our first parameter, then there's our second parameter, and then there's our third parameter to the color routine. And the error is that it's colored, not colored. Let's run it again, and there we go. All right, so you see that what we're doing here, we're walking the tops and bottoms. We're printing out one top, one bottom, two top, two bottom, and we're also printing that out in backlit color. So again, it's just going to help us separate, because we'll not print the individual batters and pitches. We'll not print those in reverse, in the backlit, so it'll help distinguish where the inning breaks are. So looks like we're still rolling. Let's keep going. So from there, back up into our code. After we've printed that, let's say that FR equals inning dot find frames sub I. Okay. So now we know that we've got a missing inning half, which is the bottom of the ninth. So let's say this: if FR is not none. So as long as you don't come up empty here, let's do the following. And the following is for each AB in frame.iterate at bat. So again, what we're doing is in each of these top and bottoms, we're going to go find all the at-bats. So we should find at-bat, 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 at least 3 at-bats in each frame that exists. So for AB, we're calling that AB. So an at-bat, an AB, will be the iteration of the frame of the FR innings for the attribute at-bat. And for that, let's say batter name. So what we're gonna do is inside here, in between this inning 1 top and inning 1 bottom, we're gonna print out all the at-bats, and we're gonna print out the pitches that were thrown in that at-bat. So one of the first things we'll need to do to make that verbose, is we're going to print out the player dictionary. So the dictionary that we built earlier, and we're going to get ab.get, and I think we'll go over and check it, but I think it was labeled batter. So there we go, batter equals. So we're going to end up with this. Once we look at the at-bat element and we look at the batter attribute, that'll give us this number. And we're going to use that number just like we did up here. We're going to use that number to index our way into player dictionary. Okay, so our batter name will be the first and last name of that dictionary element. So that'll give us batter name. Let's go ahead and do AB pitch count equals 0. Let's zero out the pitch count for this at bat, because I don't see anywhere where they've put in an index. Now I may be wrong, but again, if we do the at bat pitch count, I don't see that they've got an index on this pitch. They've just got pitch, pitch, pitch. So it's kind of up to us to create that variable. So pitch count for this at bat equals 0. Now let's do this. Again, I'm big on not going too far until I know I'm getting what I need. So let's push that out. So we have a couple spaces to push it out, and then we'll say batter name, and then again we'll do the color. So we're going to do the top of the innings, we'll do these players and the pitches in green, and this time we'll use attributes equal, and inside of our array here we'll just say bold. So we've got reverse, we've used reverse and bold. So let's see if that works. And invalid syntax in the at bat, I forgot the colon, as I always do. And with the colon in, let's run. Now we've got batter name equals player dictionary, expected indent block. So this is all subordinate to the for statement there. I use tabs. I don't want to get into the religious war of tabs versus spaces. I use tabs because they're fast. So I just need to tab those three statements over. These are subordinate to the for loop. And with that, you'll see inning 1, Dickerson, Barnes, Tulowitzki. And the bottom of the inning, Gordon, Ramirez, Puig, Gonzalez. Looks like they got something going in the first inning. Kemp and Van Slyke. So we're doing what we hope we're doing, and that is iterating through the innings, the top and the bottom of the inning, and now the at-bats in that inning. So let's keep going. Let's go into the pitches within the at-bats.